It sounds almost impossible, but the daily snack you think is saving your heart might actually be aging your brain and seriously straining your liver. You see, as we age, specifically after 60, our organs, particularly our kidneys and livers, naturally lose a bit of their filtering efficiency. A young liver handles complex fats and minerals effortlessly, but an aging liver, it loses about 20 to 40% of its functional capacity. And because of this structural change, certain superfood nuts can quietly turn into highly toxic burdens. So, I want you to think about this for a second. Have you noticed more joint stiffness lately? Maybe some unexpected digestive discomfort or an increase in brain fog? We so often brush these symptoms off as just, normal aging. But what's really fascinating is that these physical changes are frequently triggered by hidden toxins and inflammatory fats sitting right inside the snack bags in your own pantry. 400%. Recent clinical studies have uncovered some deeply alarming facts. Researchers found that one specific nut, one that's often aggressively promoted as a heart protector, was actually linked to a 400% spike in toxic liver enzymes in seniors in a mere 4 weeks. That is a staggering jump, and it proves we absolutely need to fundamentally rethink our snacking habits as we age. Part 1. 4 nuts to avoid. Let's look at these silent saboteurs. Starting at number 4, we have macadamia nuts. These things are incredibly rich, dwarfing almonds and walnuts with an overwhelmingly high 76 grams of fat per 100 grams. Now, fat isn't inherently evil, but an aging liver really struggles to process this massive load efficiently. Instead of breaking it down, the excess fat just builds up. In fact, a recent 5-year study tracked seniors and found that eating macadamias more than twice a week led to a 34% increase in dangerous arterial plaque formation. Your aging liver just gets totally overwhelmed by this specific saturated fat known as palmitic acid. To understand what this actually looks like in the real world, let's look at Edward. He's a 67-year-old retired accountant who was snacking on macadamias every single night. He was suffering from this mysterious fatigue and shortness of breath, and his triglycerides had skyrocketed to a really dangerous level. But when he swapped his evening macadamia habit for almonds, the transformation was incredible. In just 8 weeks, his triglycerides plummeted back to healthy levels, his walking endurance returned, and as he put it, it felt like I got back 5 years of my life. Moving on to nut number 3 to avoid, Brazil nuts. 175%. That is the amount of your daily selenium requirement delivered by just a single Brazil nut. So if you eat a handful, you are flooding your body with over 1,000% of what it needs. While younger bodies might buffer this out, older kidneys lose their filtering efficiency, causing this heavy mineral to rapidly build up to highly toxic levels. And that buildup leads directly to a terrifying condition called selenosis. This is a toxic buildup of selenium that causes tremors, brain fog, and hair loss. It's so scary because it's frequently misdiagnosed as Parkinson's or dementia in seniors. Take a patient named Catherine, who ate 3 Brazil nuts a day for their supposed anti-aging benefits. She developed intense brain fog and severe hand tremors. Once she stopped eating them, it took a full 6 months to flush the minerals out of her system, but her tremors completely vanished. Oh, and as if that wasn't enough, Brazil nuts also absorb barium from the soil, which can actively disrupt heart rhythms in older adults. Okay, nut number 2 on our danger list, peanuts. First off, they aren't even nuts, they're actually legumes. But the real danger here is aflatoxin. This is a dangerous mold toxin found on peanuts during storage, and get this, the World Health Organization actually classifies it as a Group 1 carcinogen. That's the exact same category as tobacco smoke. Remember how we talked about the aging liver losing detox power? Well, it can no longer efficiently flush out this carcinogenic mold, meaning every scoop of peanut butter is adding to a toxic burden your body simply cannot handle. To see the real-world cost of this, look no further than Beatrice, a 70-year-old who ate peanut butter daily for 40 years. What she didn't know was that peanuts have a massive omega-6 imbalance. They push the healthy ratio to a staggering 5,000 to 1. That is literally like pouring gasoline on inflammation. It fueled Beatrice's crushing arthritis and relentless fatigue. But once doctors discovered her aflatoxin levels were 5 times higher than normal, she switched to almond butter. Just 10 weeks later, her joint pain dropped by 80%. And this brings us to the absolute #1 worst nut for seniors, cashews. These carry some hidden, devastating dangers. They are loaded with oxalates, which bind with calcium to create kidney stones in aging kidneys that are already struggling to filter. They also contain surprising amounts of carbs that cause dangerous blood sugar spikes. And they're packed with phytic acid. This is an anti-nutrient that literally robs your body of essential minerals like iron and zinc. But the good news is, there are healing alternatives like walnuts and pecans that can reverse this damage.
Part 2. 4 nuts to embrace. These are the super nuts for aging.
All right, time for a dramatic pivot, because aging absolutely does not have to mean decline. Kicking off our best nuts list at number 4, we have pecans. 17,940, that is their massive antioxidant ORAC score. It's a metric that measures sheer antioxidant power per 100 grams. To put that into perspective, they pack significantly more antioxidant punch than blueberries or dark chocolate. For an aging brain shrinking by about 5% a decade, this is a huge deal. These unique polyphenols protect brain cells from oxidative damage, and clinical studies show regular pecan eaters actually maintain more gray matter volume in memory-critical regions. Let's look at nut number 3, pistachios. These little green guys pack incredible anti-aging benefits. They're loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin, which act like natural sunglasses to protect your aging eyes. They provide a complete, kidney-friendly plant protein to fight muscle decline. They contain arginine, which boosts nitric oxide to keep your arteries flexible and young. Plus, with 3 grams of fiber per ounce, they actively tackle one of the most persistent senior issues out there, constipation. Getting your digestion moving smoothly without stressing your system. And this isn't just theory. It actually changes lives. Meet Anna, 74 years old. She was facing advancing macular degeneration and was basically told to prepare for eventual blindness. Desperate, she started eating just 1.5 ounces of pistachios daily. At her 6-month checkup, her doctor was completely stunned. Not only had the disease stopped progressing, but her vision had actually improved by 1 line on the eye chart. She rightfully calls them her vision vitamins. Coming in at number 2, almonds. Their highly bioavailable nutrients directly serve as a daily prescription for your health. For brain protection, almonds deliver alpha-tocopherol, a unique vitamin E that strengthens neural connections. For muscle cramps and sleep, they provide 80 milligrams of magnesium per ounce, fighting the deficiency that plagues 70% of seniors. And for heart health, just 1.5 ounces a day lowers bad LDL cholesterol by an incredible 31 points. And now the absolute number 1 best nut for seniors. Walnuts, a massive 68%. That's the drop in Alzheimer's risk discovered in a landmark 9-year clinical study of adults over 65. Those who regularly ate walnuts at least 5 times a week experienced a staggering 68% drop in their risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Postmortem brain scans showed far fewer amyloid plaques, which are the literal hallmarks of dementia. So what makes walnuts such a miracle? Well, they're the only nut containing measurable amounts of natural melatonin. As we hit our 60s, our natural melatonin drops by up to 90%, causing rampant insomnia. Walnuts give that back. And when you combine that natural melatonin with their plant-based alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA omega-3 fatty acids, they fight chronic inflammation head-on while simultaneously resetting your disrupted sleep cycles. It's a natural sleep-inducing powerhouse. This combination actually rebuilds the aging brain. Take Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired professor showing early signs of dementia. She was forgetting words, losing track of bills, and her family was actually preparing for assisted living. But after adding 2 ounces of walnuts to her daily diet, divided between morning and evening, her cognitive test scores improved by 34% in just 6 months. Brain scans showed increased activity, and she regained her full independence. Walnuts literally saved her mind.
Part 3. Make the switch today and protect your body. You are now armed with the structural knowledge to protect your health, and as we've seen, aging absolutely does not have to mean a decline in your quality of life. Let's summarize this with some highly practical dietary swaps. We need to eliminate those inflammatory villains, the toxic swaps like Brazil nuts and peanuts that are overloading your liver and kidneys. Instead, transition to healing swaps like sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. They offer safe, longevity-boosting selenium and protein without the aflatoxin risk or the mineral overload. It's all about empowering yourself to clear out the pantry and restock it with superfoods that actually work with your aging system. So I leave you with this final, provocative thought. Which nut swap are you going to make today? Will you trade in those dangerous cashews for walnuts, or maybe swap out peanuts for pistachios? Taking immediate action today can literally add years to your life and life to your years. Make the choice to thrive, protect your memory, and ease your joints. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this knowledge empowers you to build a stronger, healthier future.